At E3 2013, a game called Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare was announced, a more unique take on the oversaturated shooter genre. It was a pretty unexpected announcement, and it released on February 25th, 2014 on Xbox One and Xbox 360 as a timed exclusive, later coming to the PC, PS3 and PS4. They turned a casual tower defense game into a third-person shooter, but somehow it worked, and it was a pretty fun game, and the game generally received positive reception. And at E3 2015, they announced Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2, released on February 23rd, 2016. This game took everything that was great about the first Garden Warfare and expanded on it. It included more characters, a new hub replacing the menus, a lackluster single-player campaign but still single-player campaign, private matches with bots, and more. These games were both successful and the games were kinda popular, so after Garden Warfare 2 stopped getting updates in late 2016, people were questioning what's next. Of course, obvious was Garden Warfare 3, but what the new things will they add to this new entry if it even becomes a thing? Well, we didn't really get Garden Warfare 3, instead we got Battle for Neighborville, the most controversial game in the series. It removed a lot of things from what made the Garden Warfare game special, and the game didn't even last a year before it stopped getting updates. So, what happened? This is the rise and fall of Plants vs Zombies Battle for Neighborville. On February 5th, 2019, the official Plants vs Zombies Twitter announced that PopCap is working on a brand new Plants vs Zombies game for PC and consoles, and people were excited. Many people expected a new PvZ shooter because the tower defense games only release on mobile now. This is all the news we got about this new game until March, when Zach got an interview with the developers of Garden Warfare, and Zach got asked them when will they announce more stuff about this new game. And they said they're gonna share more info on this game on the 10th anniversary of PvZ and during the E3/EA Play season. So what did we get on PvZ's 10th anniversary? A cake. And what did we get at E3? Yup, the only official announcement we got for the game before release was a tweet, and that's it. But thankfully we had unofficial sources that made PvZ fans hyped. The first major leak we got was on March 2nd. It was a Chinese article about a tester who got to try out this new shooter, and said it will be similar to Garden Warfare 2, and there will be 10 characters on each team. The next leak was on May 17th, when someone on Reddit posted an image of a brand new Acorn class and shared info about the class, and the person also leaked 3 new maps. Dreamwood, which is Weirding Woods, Cheese Mine, which is Mount Steep, and Town Center. Another character leak happened the same month. This time they showed an image of a brand new Mushroom class, which is a pretty highly requested character by fans and a certain someone. On May 30th, PopCap tweeted about the Garden Warfare 2 servers going down for maintenance because there's gonna be a new update coming, and later Justin Weep tweeted that this is gonna be the last Garden Warfare 2 update. But then he quickly deleted the tweet. This update, of course, included the Tale of the Taco event, which was supposed to be a bigger event than what we actually got. But on May 22nd, a pretty big leak happened. The PvZ data miner known as NM found a string in the Garden Warfare 2 files that said access to rewards to require Plants vs Zombies Battle for Neighborville game sold separately, persistent internet connection, all games updates and an EA account, in-game rewards accessible until 12 AM PST January 1st, 2020. These rewards were in tiers similar to a battle pass from other games. Some people thought there's gonna be a battle pass. These rewards were scrapped and got turned into the Founders rewards. On July 16th, the Tale of the Taco event started and ended on September 2nd. Every week there was a special mode in the mystery portal. These modes were Reign of Flavors, Taco Panic, Daily Disaster, Hot-Headed Rumble, Devious Cheese, Snack Attack, and Farewell Taco. But on the same day, a new testing opportunity appeared on the EA playtesting page. People had the chance to try out the next PvZ shooter, codenamed Picnic. Sadly, this was only on Xbox One and PS4, so I never got the chance to play it, but I didn't even get an invite. During the same month of August, the biggest leak happened. On August 13th, a YouTube user called the PlayStation Bra uploaded an unfinished version of the game's trailer. It was a pretty unique trailer and even had its own song just for this trailer called Come On Down to Neighborville, and it's a pretty catchy tune, I must say. It was quickly taken down by EA, but if something goes on the internet, it never fully goes away, because people started re-uploading the trailer. EA tried to take these down as well, but then they gave up. On August 27th, an image was posted of release dates for multiple games, and one of those games was a game called Plants vs Zombies PS4, and it said that it will release on October 18th. During Gamescom, games journalists got the opportunity to try out BFN behind closed doors, and one German game journalist uploaded a video on the 28th showcasing gameplay footage and telling details about the game. For some reason, this video was never taken down by EA. Finally, on September 3rd, PopCap finally made a teaser for BFN, and then on September 4th, the game will be revealed via a YouTube premiere on their channel. And of course, on September 4th, BFN was announced. It was not the leaked trailer, but it was an overview detailing about the new classes and features. And after the premiere, people could get a Founders Edition, where they could get the game early for $10 less, and they'll get new content every week till launch. This was PopCap's first mistake, not hyping up the game. This game was promised to be announced on PvZ's 10th anniversary, didn't happen, and they also did gonna announce it during E3, didn't happen. There wasn't even an announcement at Gamescom, they literally just randomly announced it and released it early, which was a pretty dumb decision. So in the Founders Edition, they let players try the game early at a crisp $30 instead of $40. Players got content and exclusive cosmetics each week till launch. In week 1, there was Turf Takeover and the Town Center Plants PvE region. In week 2, Team Vanquish and the Weirding Woods PvE region. In week 3, Ops and Mix Mode. In week 4, a weekly event called the Reinforcements and the Mount Steep PvE region. And in week 5, a Battle Arena, the Town Center Zombies PvE region, and the Lawn of Doom Festival. So let's talk about the game. So the first thing you see in the game is the social region called Giddy Park, with 2 sides and 1 main battle area, kinda similar to the Backyard Battleground, but with actual players instead of just AI. And I gotta be honest, Giddy Park isn't as good as the Backyard. There's not a lot of battles happening there, and only a few players actually go and fight there. Also, it's infested with spawn campers, which makes the experience not fun. There's 6 new characters. On the planets, we have Nightcap, not to be confused with the PvZ Heroes Nightcap. It's supposed to be a stealth character, but there's literally no reward for playing stealth. So playing stealth is basically useless. And you could just kill some enemies, and when you're at low health, you just use Shadow Sneak to run away. Snapdragon, originated from PvZ 2, this is a pretty good crowd control character. I like this addition. And we have Acorn and Oak. This character has a pretty cool mechanic where you can transform into an oak, and 4 additional acorns can join your oak. But of course this mechanic is OP and broken. The mechanic itself is pretty cool though, but why does it have to be in this game? And on the zombie side, we have the 80s action hero. His design is pretty cool, but literally one ability carries him. Also he can do this. We also have Electric Slide. She has an electrical attack and she's fine, I guess. And last but not least, we have Space Cadet, another team play class. I really like her design, especially the space station, but this character also broke the game. So there's that. Now let's talk about the side attraction, the PvE region, which is the best part of this entire game. There are of course 3 PvE regions: Town Center for Plants and Zombies, Mount Steep, and Weirding Woods. And these regions are massive with tons of collectibles, missions, and every region has its own silly story. In Town Center Plants, you need to stop Old School cause he trapped the plants in boogie traps that forced them to dance forever. In Mount Steep, you need to stop the zombies from using the Neighborvillian cheese to burn Neighborville. In Weirding Woods, you discover a cult that worships a sports equipment, aka Dummy, and Dummy has been kidnapped by Dreadwood, and you have to save him. And in Town Center Zombies, you have to stop an infection that turns zombies into functioning members of society. And each region has its own unique boss. There's Disco Zombie with bigger hair, Cheese Miner Robot Thing, Founders Edition Nightmare, and the boss that makes you want to rip my hair out. These regions are a huge improvement from Garden Warfare 2's lackluster campaign, but they do have some criticisms that could also count as nitpicks or something. All of the regions have the same structures. It's basically gather 3 things to make one thing and fight the boss. Some stuff that you need to 100% these regions are annoying, and after you're done with everything there's nothing else to do, which sucks. Okay, now let's move over to the multiplayer side. Every mode returns from Garden Warfare 2, but some of them have some really weird changes. Let's start with Ops. And oh boy, I don't know how, but they ruined this mode. Now there's only 5 waves instead of 10, which is just dumb, and they removed the escape part for some reason. There were 2 versions of Ops, Phase 1 which was terrible apparently, I don't remember much from it, and Phase 2 which had elite bosses which were kinda similar to the boss hunts in Garden Warfare 2, and made stuff a bit better, but the game mode is still bad. They wanted to make Phase 3 with a lot of stuff like a special currency and upgrades similar to Man vs Machine, but you know what happened to that. Next mode that was changed was Mix Mode. In Garden Warfare 2, Mix Mode was my favorite mode because it's every mode in one package, but in BFN it only had Gnome Bomb, Suburbanation and Vanquish confirmed. I was so disappointed when I found about this, because Mix Mode was amazing, but now they've ruined it for some reason. But at least there's one positive. The new mode that was added is Battle Arena, which is a search and destroy type of mode where 2 teams of 4 are pitted against each other and there could be only one team standing. After playing as one character in one round, you cannot use that character in the next, which forces you to try out different characters and change your strategies. And it was fun, but then the matchmaking for that mode was broken for months until they fixed it in the last update, which is sad because this was a really cool mode. But now I'm gonna talk about that balancing, and the balancing in this game is somehow worse than Garden Warfare 2. Thought the removal of variants meant that the balancing will be much better, but nope, EA Mario here used his EA Mario magic to make this game as unbalanced as possible. Also, why are the variants gone? At first I was a bit happy cause we won't have to deal with fire or toxic characters anymore, but over time I realized that the variants made the Garden Warfare games stand out from the crowd. It brought a lot of replayability, but the removal of variants made the game get stale really quickly. Instead of variants, PopCap added this upgrade system that was supposed to replace the variants, but the upgrades didn't really change anything about the character. Another new mechanic that was added is sprinting, which is probably made for the PvE regions, but they still left it in a multiplayer, which was a terrible decision. So now when players are at low health, they could just easily run away from you and regenerate their health. Also, one of the main mechanics of a shooter, aiming, somehow feels awful. They also tried to do some live service content, which were the festivals. Every month had its own festival, and each festival changed Glee Park, and some of them were really cool, I gotta be honest. And there were the prize maps, basically PopCap's take on the Battle Pass, where you could earn cosmetics which were pretty cool at first, but then it became repetitive and most of the stuff were basically filler. But actual updates that added our content was extremely slow, but at least we had the festivals to keep us busy. Another good thing about this game is the music. Most of the music is reused from Garden Warfare 2, but all of the original tracks are amazing. Just listen to some of them. I definitely recommend to listen to the OST, it's amazing. Let's talk about the game's art style. Long gone are the more realistic sleek look, and now we have a more cartoony one. I gotta be honest, and a lot of people are gonna disagree with this one, but I prefer this art style over the Garden Warfare art style. GW2 looks great, don't get me wrong, but I think BFN looks more visually pleasing to my eyes. I always preferred more cartoony art styles over realistic ones. Just look at this looks amazing. So here's my verdict. This game is extremely mediocre. It has some good things, but it has a lot of bad things, and it's full of bugs as well. This makes this game a really mixed bag. First kinda big update was in December that added a new Team Vanquished map called the Z-Tech Uzawire with a bouncing jelly mechanic. This update also added rocks, but now he turned into the Fortnite item shop, and you had to buy these cosmetics with rainbow stars, the premium currency. And for a paid game, getting rainbow stars without paying was difficult. You had to do weekly challenges in the weekly modes, and at first only the last challenge gave you rainbow stars. But later they changed it so every challenge gives you rainbow stars, but it was still extremely slow to get. But I would like to say that the cosmetics in this game are the best ones in the entire series. Sadly, most of the cool ones were locked behind rainbow stars. During 2019, I was optimistic, thinking that the game will get better. It felt like they cared and tried to improve. Until 2020 struck. Before Hell on Earth happened, PopCap released a developer roadmap showing the upcoming content that is coming to the game. In February, the prize map had a new prize, a legendary upgrade which was supposed to be variants. The first one was called Shogun Guard, which was similar to Commando Corn, but it had no splash damage. It had a shield, and this upgrade is more of a downgrade in my opinion. They only released 3 of these. There's Torn Apart for Rose, which was supposed to make Rose more of an actual support character. Basically, you have this bar, and this bar fills up by getting vanquishes, giving teammates speed boosts, etc. And these gave you these homing orb things that damage zombies, but the homing barely worked, so it's kinda better than stock Rose, but not by a lot. There was the Steam Blaster, which was a chemist and alien flower hybrid, and at launch this thing was OP, but it got nerfed to oblivion. And the last one was Brainium Basher 9001 for Super Brains, which it was basically Super Brain's headbutt with terrible hit detection, and it basically let you fly across the entire map in seconds. The legendary upgrades were a unique idea to kinda bring back variants, but most of them were downgrades, or they were too OP but got nerfed. Or they are OP, but there's one thing that ruins the upgrade. And we also got the brand new turf map, Preserve Pastures. But in March we got Ranked Battle Arena and a brand new character called the Wizard, and this has to be the most well designed classes in this game. It's such an amazing character with some pretty cool ideas, except for Spell Disaster that can die. And after that, you know what happened. Everyone was forced to stay aside, and there was only one way to spend time, and it was playing video games. But this also made it hard for developers to work on games, because they were forced to work from home. And this is where the game started to get worse. So during March, BFM was added to the Origin Access service only 5 months after its release, and it was already on Origin Access, which probably meant that the game wasn't doing well financially. And during this entire hell, most of the new content that was added in the game was full of bugs, like when they added penalties for leaving a battle arena match, and the penalty was 900 plus weeks long. In June, there was an event called the Lost and Found event, and in this event it was supposed to give over 1000 rainbow stars for free, but then they changed their minds the last minute and they made it the rainbow stars random. In late May, another update released, adding a brand new map called Tourist Trap Island, and of course this also had bugs. When this map first released, the waters was literally missing, and the performance for all platforms were terrible. When I played on this map for the first time, I thought this was a PC only thing because the optimization on PC was terrible, but nope, this was a problem for all platforms, so they removed the map from rotation in June, and it took 2 months to bring it back. Amazing. And during summer is where the game was nearing its end. On July 1st, the PvZ Shooter Games' the creative director, Justin Wiebe, announced that he'll be leaving PopCap to work on a different project at EA. Also during the summer, most of the devs like the live service producer Sean Laker and senior level designer Jeff Shaw moved to Respawn to work on Apex Legends. Also in July, PopCap posted another developer roadmap announcing that finally private play is coming to the game, and in September we will be getting 2 brand new characters, TV Head and Wildflower. We got to play as these guys early in August via weekly modes as well. But on September 1st, PopCap released a new blog post on the BFN website announcing the new prize map and new characters, but at the end of the blog post it said, "As the leaves start to change, September's Fall Festival will be our last festival and our final game and gameplay update will be at the end of the month. But as you all know, the battle for brains never really ends. With this in mind, each month we'll be bringing back our previous festival complete with prize map." Basically announcing that the game will be cancelled and there won't be any updates. This announcement surprised me. I didn't know how to react. I was happy, sad and confused at the same time. I was expecting the game to go for like a few more months or something. A lot of people were celebrating and some people were sad, and of course on September 29th the last update was released with brand new balance changes, some cool looking Vanquish icons and 2 new characters. So why did the game get cancelled? For one, the game was probably a financial failure for EA's eyes and they decided to pull the plug. This game was pretty mediocre and the game wasn't marketed at all. Sure, there were some ads during launch, but also the game released out of nowhere. They just did the premiere and they said that you can play the game right now. No hype build up, no time to breathe, they just flat out randomly released it. So, will there be a Garden Warfare 3 or a brand new PvZ shooter? Probably not. Most key members of PopCap Vancouver have been moved to other EA studios and there's no current job applications at PopCap Vancouver. And the future of PvZ in general is very unclear. As of making this video, a few months ago they said that the soft launch for PvZ 3 has ended and right now they're reimagining the game, probably because of the backlash from fans and the internet.